Well, live from Carson, California, it is the biggest moment in a plethora of these seniors here at the high school football level. It is the state championship. Pleasant good evening from the national sports radio station on Spreaker.com, along with Dan Gadino and the entire broadcast crew. Nick Rice here live from the StubHub Center. It is a near-packed crowd here on the bottom section of the StubHub Center. It holds over 20,000. And, Dan, these fans, to go along with the players and coaches, are in potentially their biggest game of the entire year, this being the state championship.
Yeah, and there's no better teams to do it than Redlands East Valley and Clayton Valley Charter, two teams that come in with great records. Redlands comes in 14-1, Charter Valley 15-0. The interesting thing about Clayton Valley is they started off the season in Week 1 in Carson City, Nevada. And here in Week 16, they find themselves in Carson, California.
Yeah, right back where it all started. And, Dan, one thing that makes this season for both these two teams very impressive is that they knocked out just about everybody in their way. Clayton Valley Charter 15-0, Redlands East Valley 14-1. And as you take a look at some of the numbers, Dan, what we'll start with with obviously the Clayton Valley Charter side. What stands out to you the most?
Well, the thing that stands out the most is the number of running backs that this team has. It's got a platoon of backs. All have rushed for over at least 50 attempts rushing.
Yeah, they have 5 separate running backs with over 50 attempts, over 4 rushing touchdowns, and over 540 yards on the ground. This is a football team in Clayton Valley Charter that runs the rock 87% of the time. As Redlands East Valley defensively has been relatively strong against the run, what do you think is the game plan coming in for this Clayton Valley Charter team where you know that Redlands is going to stack 8, 9, 10 men in the box to stop the run?
Well, it's a team that has its own identity, and it's well established, and I don't expect them to change anything. I mean, the Russian game has got them to this point here in Carson. Why would they change it just because Redlands East Valley is going to stack up the box? I think they're a confident bunch, and with the 15-0 record, undefeated, why not just continue the run game?
It's Redlands East Valley against Clayton Valley Charter, the Eagles against the Wildcats here in the Division II state championship game, and obviously it's all brought to you here on the national sports radio station on Spreaker.com. This was the host of last night's thropping Folsom over Oceanside High School in the D1 state championship, and this should be a much more competitive battle between two of the top teams, both of which rank in the top 25 in the state along with top 200 in the nation. It's Redlands East Valley who will kick off. Clayton Valley Charter back deep to receive. It's John Hilford to tee it up. And final thoughts here, Dan, between these two stalwart ball clubs.
Well, expect a low-scoring affair. Teams that could rack them up. But overall, this team has only averaged, I'm talking about Redlands, although they've only averaged 43 points per game. In this event here, I expect it to be a lot lower. I expect this game to be somewhere in the 20s by the end of the night.
John Hilford tees it up. Approaches. And the high school football Division II state championship is underway. Back deep to receive for Clayton Valley. That's Miles Austin to the 10, 15, wiggles 20, has room. Bouncing outside 30. Between the hashes, he's loose and is tripped up by the final man at the 39-yard line. Clayton Valley Charter brings out one of the top quarterbacks to come out of the north. It's Nate Keisel, a junior QB with only 1 interception on his resume, Dan, and he takes the field with some phenomenal field position. It's the 39-yard line to begin things here from Carson.
Although Nate Keisel is the junior starting quarterback, we won't see much of him. He's only had 3 games with more than seven passing attempts, Nick.
Yeah, this is a man who has only attempted 22 throws during 5 rounds of the postseason, operates with 3 tight ends, hand off up the middle to the main running back, Miles Harrison, for a gain of about 3.
Clayton Valley runs a very interesting type of offense. We've already stated it's a heavy run type of offense. But the thing about it, they line up in a goal line set, so everyone's stacked up on a line, and then the quarterback lines up in sort of like a pistol to shotgun snap approach.
Right, and it's a heavy hurry-up offense, and they'll sprint to the line again. Nate Keisel operates with 3 tight ends and 2 running backs. He'll give again, but not before whistles fly. And this is the number 1 running offense in the entire Division II spectrum in the state of California. 442 rushing yards per game. An encroachment against Redlands East Valley will make it 5 yards closer for the Clayton Valley to pick up the first down. But your impressions about this team that hurries up to the line and is imposing their will on the ground?
You would think how football has changed so much with the spread offense using 5 wide receivers. Well, in the run game, it's changed as well. Charter Valley shows us their approach and their type of system where, hey, sure, everyone's playing out of a shotgun set, so will we, but we're not taking away the run game. We're going to continue with that.
And one interesting thing about these coaches, they are very much involved in that running game. They have 4 separate guys that are standing on the field right here before the snap. It was an encroachment against the offense. They should have called that a false start. Nevertheless, it's a 3 tight end set and another run up the middle to Miles Harrison. Wiggles 40, has room, loose across midfield, sideline, it's off to the races. 30, 20, spreading to the 15 and bumped out of bounds at the Redlands East Valley 9. And right off the bat, Dan, it's a gash to the near side for 48 yards, move the chains.
It's a system that just creates havoc for the defense. The run game for Charter Valley is their goal, the thing that they will always go to, and right there in that last play, getting a huge chunk of yardage.
Well, it's curious, if you will, is that if you're the Redlands East Valley defense, you know what's going to happen. They have run the ball, has Clayton Valley 87% of the time. They go with 2 straight run plays, and that's a huge scamper to the near side. Miles Harrison flanks the quarterback again. And with some shifting on the line, quarterback will change signals. We are down to 10:53 to go here in the state championship, and Kaiser will burn his first charge timeout. Clayton Valley Charter is the favorite in this football game, and we see early that offensive line is fierce. And so far, they are winning the battle in the trenches.
This is where we see who worked out the most during the offseason, who was in the weight room the most will be shown. Last week, the Eagles pounded Oakdale High School with 344 yards rushing. So an impressive display of a run game, and, well, we're going to see it here tonight.
Yeah, this is a quarterback. I'm sure if you're Nate Keisel, you got to be awfully frustrated. This is a man that, while he is the starter, he has barely even gotten an opportunity to really establish himself, Dan.
Well, he might not actually be a pure, true quarterback. A lot of times in these gimmick, systematic run game offenses, you really don't need a quarterback, so you need an athlete, and I think that's what he provides for Clayton Valley is a running approach.
Yeah, this is a man that has scored 5 touchdowns running the football, nearly 400 yards on the ground. So now that Clayton Valley has reached the red zone a whole lot earlier than Redlands would have liked, what's the play call down here near the goal line?
They're going to do what they do best. Whether it's a pitch or a handoff, that's up in the air. But we all know what's coming. It's going to be a running back. Out of 5, we'll see who it is.
Well, Miles Harrison, the 5'11", 200-pound senior who's ran for over 2,000 yards, is to the left hip of his quarterback, Nate Keisel. And he'll get the call up the middle to the 10. 5, untouched to the 3. Stiff arm to the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. And it was just too easy on a 3-play, 75-yard scoring drive and make it 6 points right off the bat for Clayton Valley.
You got to like the way Miles Houston runs the ball. He grabs both hands around the ball and just squeezes his way through any little hole he could find, finding his way into the end zone. 6 points.
Well, he ranks in the top 10 amongst all running backs, and that's thousands of running backs, mind you, Dan, in the state of California. Number 8 in the state in rushing yards with 2,380, and he just ran in for, Dan, his 30th rushing touchdown of the season. A phenomenal feat for a man who doesn't exactly have the size, and right now, no scholarship offers as well, but he has the production to be a top-flight running back and really a key impact for Clayton Valley in this game.
He really is, and despite Harrison not having any offers, what he does have is a little bit of momentum on his side. 3 consecutive 200-yard rushing performances by him in the playoffs so far.
And he's well on his way to that. He averaged 12 yards per carry coming in. This is a running game, mind you, Dan, that has scored 85 times, 85 touchdowns, and also they have, in their 15 games, 9 of them, they have ran for over 400 yards. That is phenomenal.
I mean, we've talked so much about their offense, and we haven't even seen their defense, which is also lights out, Nick.
Well, we'll get an opportunity to do just that here. Redlands East Valley is among the most highest scoring offenses in Southern California, averaging 43 points per game. And given a disaster, they'll be put to the test here. It's a squib kick, line drive, taken at about the 22-line-up man. 30 has a convoy in front, and off a cloud of dust is around the 36-yard line. Back-to-back drives for both offenses with some pretty darn good field position, Dan. Redlands East Valley from their own 36.
Well, we're going to see Anthony Herrera, only a sophomore here at the Division II championship, so quite a task for him tonight, and we'll see if he's able to carry the Redlands Eastland Valley team to victory tonight.
Well, it's hard enough that in your first season you're in a high school state championship. It's another thing to be trailing early by 7. 10:40 to go. They trail by a touchdown. Herrera back to throw, swings it out near side, pass is caught, wiggles inside the 40, stays in bounds, and hops around the 42-yard line. Catch was made for the Wildcats by Malik Lovett, and he's out to near the first down marker.
Anthony Herrera doesn't need the game of his life last week. Only 12 of 23, 298 yards, 2 interceptions, and he did throw a touchdown. But, again, he doesn't need lights-out numbers. What he needs to do is manage a good football game.
Another pass underneath. Lovett's got it. First and more. Sideline 45, and he's knocked out right there. That'll be a pitch and catch, Dan, for 12 yards. And while it isn't the same scheme that Clayton Valley Charter has, it's still the same exact result, moves the chains.
It really is. It's a no-huddle, fast-paced type of offense, and right off the bat, 2 straight plays, 2 first downs, Nick.
Yeah, we're in a tree. Plenty of offensive football here in a game that already is looking like a shootout. Back to throw over the middle, tipped away, and it looks like it was caught off a rebound. It was bobbled for a little bit by Malik Lovett. Would like to talk real quick about Lovett. He is committed to the University of Oregon, and he is one of the best football players in the nation, Dan.
He really is. He's actually in the ESPN Top 300, ranked number 186. Yeah, that might be a little bit down low, but out of all the players in the country, 186 is not bad at all.
It's a phenomenal feat for a football player who's in a Division II state championship. You see that. You don't really see that all that often, Dan.
You really don't. I mean, Malik Lovett, in his previous play, gets thrown a bullet, bobbles it, and still manages to catch it despite defenders popping him.
In traffic. Yeah. It shows how great he's going to be. And Oregon would love to, with that Marcus Mariota type, obviously he would be gone. Yeah. But Lovett is just a great receiver that adds to a passing game that will be without, obviously, their starting quarterback. And here we go. Malik Lovett, another catch. Already 3 receptions for the young man, over 30 yards. And he has this Redlands East Valley team right near the red zone again.
Malik Lovett, the senior, 5'11", 205 pounds, small in stature, but that doesn't matter. At the next level, he could be the perfect slot receiver, Nick.
And already over 1,000 yards here for Redlands East Valley. He's hauled in over 110 catches over his career, and he'll be the target here on another pass over the middle that was dropped. He would have had a touchdown. And it wasn't the perfect pass, but that should have been caught.
Yeah, Malik Lovett, the star that he is, called out for the ball, puts his hand out saying, give me the ball. Unfortunately, thrown a little behind, incomplete.
He had to spin around to make that catch, but it hit him right in the face mask. He obviously saw that football.
He really did. He saw a wide open field for a touchdown. He might have run without it.
Well, here we go. It's a 4th and 1. A handoff up the middle. He's fighting. He's churning. He's scratching and crawling. That's Joey Harmon looking for the first down. He's sitting at the 20, which is where the sticks are to move the chains. But the referees will hesitate. And, yes, they indicate it is a first down. On 4th and short, that would have been a disaster if they couldn't make it. But, Dan, it's a first down pickup, and now they are finally in the red zone.
Joey Harmon, the junior, 5'9", 160. Not the biggest guy, but all he needs to do is just run straight down the middle for that first down.
Taymon Faimalo is now into the game as the running back. Herrera looking to throw, chucks it over the middle. Pass is caught. That's going to be Brody Arbiter for catch number 1 for him today, making a gain of 3.
Quite the last names tonight, Nick.
Yeah.
And just like the pass from Anthony Herrera, not really a pass, more like a shovel pass to his running back.
Yeah, that Clayton Valley Charter defensive line is really imposing their will early. No sacks, but has gotten constant pressure on the quarterback. Herrera looking right over the middle, caught inside the 5. No, late. It was dropped. It was hauled in for the meantime. Chris Vaughn had it in the breadbasket. He was running before he could secure the football, and it now is another 3rd and 5 scenario here for Anthony Herrera.
Redlands East Valley, they have the right mindset. They're going straight down the middle in